Islam. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of my enemy. Thou anointest my head with the oil of wisdom. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. At this time, I'd like to recite the Moorish American prayer, the source from which I draw my strength. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Jew Ali. Amen. Portland, Oregon, we have a blessing for you today. We have Broussard, who is the mayor of Portland, who have ran for many different positions here, and I've been honored over the year to work with him. We have a young Moorish American here who is running for the office of mayor, and you're going to be sitting with Bruce, so Bruce going to give him some signs, you know what I mean? And as he does that, we all going to grow in wisdom way. So what I want to do right now, I'm going to turn it over to Bruce, and let Bruce talk to the youngster, and we gone.
Oh, well, hey, I mean, as usual, you know, Marcus, I got to call him Marcus now, because you got me involved with Marcus Garvey. I mean, that's a history there, see, and a lot of folks need to know that. And that's one of the reasons why I spent a lot of time with him, and vice versa, he spent a lot of time with me. We're two producers here, aspect of it. I've been around the community for quite some time, if you will, and so consequently, it just makes a lot of sense to educate the majority of our community, who happens not to be black, and then who happens not to have this background and this history. Because this history that when we talk about Marcus Garvey in terms of his representation is universal.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so, but the fact of the matter, we're so in a controlled environment here in the state of Oregon, and some of the history of Oregon such that people will use race as an excuse not to be inclusive of people of color, especially black folks.
I understand.
Now, we got the definition of minority, but we're the one that created it to begin with.
Yep,
A
absolutely.
guy by the name of Perrin Mitchell. You know him? Perrin Mitchell used to be a congressman from Maryland. From Maryland. And when he started talking about, i.e. the 40 acres and a mule, Perrin was sitting on the transportation committee. And what he did was that there was a lot of money there. And so they needed that vote. And said, Perrin, what do you need? Well, we want to make sure that you get a piece of the action as far as highway construction to black people. Because the majority of his people in his district were black. See? And as a result of that, they approved it. And then it went to the transportation department. But when it went to the transportation department, naturally, the contractors were upset with that. You got me? And so then it went down to the various, and they didn't spend enough time to make sure that the system was right, if you will. But it did go through the process. But, and I'll just be fast forward. But as you note, that now today, it's not just about black folks. They've basically gotten rid of them almost, as far as participation.
Yep.
I mean, we could spend 2 days on telling you what happened, and I got the history, because I was there with Perrin and some other brothers who were here. Wow. We met with Perrin, and so consequently, that's why I'm kind of like here at this point in time to share with you, and to share with the other population about the highway department. We need to look at that again. Okay. That needs to be one of the issues at the table. See, because during that particular time, every state, every city, municipalities had their own affirmative action, so to speak. And so we had another group here, came from Portland, that we organized it such that we established a position with the state under the governor's office to represent, i.e. that 10%. Now it still worked though, right, Governor? And the contractors are kind of having some issues, and then I was kind of like parcel of that. Now the Associated General Contractors, the AGC, they're a nationwide organization. They are the principal leaders, if you will, in the whole issue of construction. They got their own organization. Every state in the union has an AGC. Okay, you got me? And so consequently, I knew where they were. So basically, during that particular time, I established a paper called the American Contractor. It's called a trade publication.
Wow.
And I had it inserted in the Daily Journal of Commerce.
Okay. Right
Okay, got me? And the whole idea was to give that paper and the Daily Journal of Commerce, because it was a commerce paper, to everybody that was listed as a minority under that program.
Gotcha.
And was going to the region, because I went through the transportation department through another brother up in D.C., okay? And he had a deal called National Association of Minority Contractors.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew him personally when it started.
Wow.
So when we met,
History.
I came up with a newspaper to reflect what he was trying to do. With the
Gotcha.
understanding, we got together with AGC and said, hey, and I joined AGC,
Okay.
and I was able to lobby them, okay,
Right.
to say, look here, you got this issue here, you got to deal with the issue, and you got your own publication, AG had own publication. I said, why don't you put that publication, your message, inside the same issue of the Daily Journal of Commerce
Right.
with the American Contractor?
Yep.
Not only did they do that, they made it an attachment of the American Contractor inside the AG. Well, it was AGC was inside of the American Contractor,
Yep.
and I published it and sent that out to everybody.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then I was very much involved in transportation and stuff like that, in terms of making sure that, because a lot of times at that time the prime contractors were saying, well, okay, fine, and then some of the folks were naturally were chasing for the money because they didn't have the background. Got me?
Yeah.
The only people that really had the background were the laborers on those construction jobs. And I was lobbying to say, look, if we're going to get into subcontracting, where you put the lead guy, let's go to those brothers that are working for the members of AGC. Because in that kind of a business, let's say I've lobbied them and I've checked with them, but I say, well, okay, when you depreciate a piece of equipment like a backhoe, you got me? And I'm telling this to the contractors. I'm part of the membership, right?
Yep.
I'm on the committee. See, that's
Yeah.
how we can get the subs. This way they're legit. You get the job done. You make money and then make a couple of dollars, and the job gets done. Got me? Okay. See?
Yeah.
And I say, but then what we'll do, we'll have that brother. At least he got some background because he's worked on the job.
Right.
You got my point?
Work experience.
And then he doesn't have a crew per se. So now I was dealing with the union. This time the union was working with AGC, so it was about the money, right? It was non-union and union were working together with AGC and the unions were working together. So I was saying, well, we'll do it this way. And then I hit the unions and say, well, look here, why don't you guys open up the doors on the apprenticeship? Because some of the problems you're having, I said, AGC's got their own apprenticeship program, and the unions got their own, because really union represent labor.
Right.
AGC represent administration.
Right.
You got me? And so I was kind of like trying to wiggle it out so it's a fair piece.
Yeah.
Well, but the AGC would basically say, okay, fine, because beforehand they were basically saying, come to my deal, but I was pushing them more to the union. And the subcontracting piece, I was giving them that piece.
Gotcha.
And we would have benefited. Everybody would have benefited.
Yeah. Make it mutual.
But man, I tell you, it was tough. It was tough. And even some people I kind of tried to bring them in there, and they couldn't handle it. But I was, but it's work. Just like you're thinking about running for office, so to speak. That's work.
Yeah.
And so when you get there, you want to make sure you got a resume that can respond to this, and then that's why I appreciate the fact that you're here with this particular program and your interest in doing that, and we can talk to that another issue at another time. But right now, I'm just sharing with the public and us, basically, what this other piece was, which is a very important piece, which is, as far as I'm concerned, should be part of a platform of the folks who are running for mayor, because at one point in time we used to have, if you will, a certification entity for the city of Portland and Multnomah County.
Now certification through labor?
No, just a certification for minorities. That is basically they had a listing where they basically put pieces together, meaning that you went through them, and then the contractors would go through this particular entity of the city, or go through this particular entity of Multnomah County. and they draw from there. And that was not the mindset. The mindset was to make sure you get those people involved. And by the way, the union, non-union were basically working back and forth. But I was saying there was no such thing as this and that. No, here's the definition of what that person should be. They've not been there. The only people that have the background as far as black contractors, as far to be a qualified leader or manager or whatever, would be a person that's already working on the job.
Got you.
And then the contractor will make sure that person is successful.
Right.
And then the contractor will make sure you'll get that backhoe to dig that hole, because that's right, because that backhoe is very important to him. And you want to make sure he gets that this big, because he got to get priorities to get other things.
Yeah.
So he's part of the job, and he's able to make a couple bucks because he'll sell that depreciated product to you. I mean, to a brother contractor. And if you don't have it, he'll tell him the process, because it's a networking piece. When these contractors are bidding jobs, you just almost have to look at it. But I was there looking at the piece. But when they're bidding those big jobs, they're working with one another because they're all members. So if another contractor is maybe in another state, but that big tractor is right next to the state, you say, well, okay, fine, he'll pick that part of his bid. And a new contractor coming in and don't have it, got to go through all of the normal channels. By the time he put it in his bid, it's twice as much.
Right.
So guess who gets the bid?
The one who has a
You understand what I'm coming from? See?
Yeah.
And I was trying to put us in that particular deal. See, got me? But going fast forward, because we want to chat, but I want to just make sure we give that example, and I want to make sure we're sharing that with the public, because the opportunity is there. We need some fixing up. So since you're thinking about running for mayor, that'd be something that I think you should consider. That's a main staple, because I've been looking at the situations of all of them. I've run for mayor before, and the fact of the matter is I've been looking at the resumes of all of the folks that were there, and I don't know of anyone that a person of color that has this kind of a background. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And it basically has gone and reached out, and brother he has been reaching out to his and put us together, so to speak. And then boom, it was an important thing to him, because he said, Bruce, I want you to come on, because that's an issue that my constituents wants to hear. Got me? And so that's a good deal. Yeah. And since you're the only one, and I've been around, I know enough about the folks who are running, and you just happened to have been, I guess you came through my show for a minute, but we didn't interview on that piece.
Right.
Because in all due respect, there's nobody running yet. You got to file in June.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody, and that's the other side, and that's the other thing I was sharing with the viewing public here, is that the way they've laid this, it's a historical piece that we're doing right now. I shared that on one of his shows before. We talked about this piece, but the fact of the matter is that we need to understand the definition of politics the way we from a historical standpoint, how we run it. It's about power. It's about power and money. And in most cases, the business community is. It's kind of the 90-10. I say 90-10,
yep.
Because the bottom line is that, and we need them, because they own the businesses, they buy those equipment and sell equipment, stuff like that, and they create jobs and things of that nature. But a lot of times they were basically trying to secure the fact that they get those buildings and this, that, and the other, get the loans from the banks and whatever. Got me? So they basically say, well, we want to make sure we got people on the political side. We got that labor cat sitting up there. Saying, don't get elected, get us elected, and they're not businesses. So you got to understand what that market is. How do you share that pot that's going to benefit us all?
Right.
You see where I'm coming from? So that's kind of like, and I was so glad he brought me on with you, because I figured I'd interviewed a lot of folks, but I saw you came through the deal, but I didn't have the chance to chat with you for a moment, and I knew you were interested in running for mayor. And I said, after we do this, so I'm just sharing with you that I think that should be part of your platform, because it is a huge issue.
Right on.
It is an issue. Sure, we got the homeless issue aspect of it. We've got public safety issue aspect of it, and we've got the whole mental illness aspect of it. Those are issues.
Right. Right.
But I'm just being very frank with you. The issue of African Americans, black folks, this is an issue. It was almost like the whole issue what was it? Appropriations, the whole equalization, the money for black folks during the war. Reparation. See, a lot of folks don't understand that piece. See, that reparation came from Lincoln.
Yeah.
And from something that he had on the table when he was president.
Right.
Okay? Because to get into to him to pick up the troops, he had to pay them. And a lot of times they didn't have that much money.
Right.
That's where that 40 acres and a mule came from.
Gotcha.
When the kids got through the service, they got the 40 acres and a mule. Economics, right? Plow the land, makes his crop, sell his crop, makes money, feed his family. Well, Lincoln put black folks in that same reason. Because that's basically how the war was won in many ways, because they wouldn't allow blacks to run on either one until he got there. When he got there, he said, well, look, I want to win this war.
Yep.
But he also balanced it too. He said, well, there won't be no, he had to argue with his folks. So the vice president is going to be a Democrat. Okay? And then as you know, once the thing got going, and they won the war, and then all of a sudden they said that now the Buffalo soldiers are there because they were part and parcel of with the Union soldiers, won the war, and so all of a sudden Denzel Washington, you remember Denzel Washington? Denzel Washington jumped up there and said, "Where's my piece?" He said, "You got 40 acres of you."
That's right.
I'm putting it in that case. So when that happened, bang, that happened. The next thing you know, folks on the other side, on both sides, said, no, we can't have that. They blew him away. And had that happened then, we wouldn't have these issues today.
Right.
Because we were already integrated worldwide.
Right.
Africa was coming there for numbers, obviously. It was going to come up. But the bottom line is that he was ahead of the game. Because this was the general, if you will, or the chairman of the board of the world, if you will, because all of the immigrants would come here. They'd come here, everybody was here.
Wow.
And then we went through this process, a little extension of what Lincoln did, and say, well, the lighter your skin is, you over here, and the darker your skin is over here.
Right.
And when we came up with the race and all that other stuff, because it was such an easy thing for a person when they're addressed with an issue, when they're talking to another person,
Right.
to be able to use something. They don't want to talk to the person, so they'll use the race thing, and it works both sides sometimes. We
Right.
get caught in the same deal.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna talk. I'm gonna. But,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to get beyond that now.
Right.
We got to be talking about progression, and then here within our community, in the Portland community, where in all due respect the majority of blacks in the state of Oregon was living here in Portland,
Right.
only because of the shipbuilding. Because there was no such thing. The man who was building them ships and making money, said, I just need some bodies. And he advertised all over the world. And a few of them black folks jumped on them trains and came on over here.
Yep.
And they stayed, a few of them.
Yep.
Because some of them were maids. They knew how to hustle, because they were still cooking, and the man could relate to the fact black folks can cook,
Yep.
you know, and take care of their babies.
Right. Absolutely.
All the way. See, so the name of the game is that people need to know what that history is about. And so I'm spending this much time with you because I was excited about the fact that you were coming, and excited about the fact that you're looking seriously thinking about running for mayor. And you do have something. You have something. Now, it's like saying in so many words, now you have a lane.
Right on.
Because I'm expecting, I would be saying that to anybody that's going to interview for me on from the 11, when they file that deal, they're going to have to tell me what their lane is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to tell me what their lane is.
Yes, sir.
And then tell me what's the end deal. Now, there's history to the lane. That's what I just shared with you. You'll have your work, and trust me, it will stick on the wall. Because you'll be able to talk to all of those entities that affected.
Yeah.
You can go to the purchasing department. You can go to all those entities. You can vet them, audit their books. What did you do in year so and so? What did you do then? What are you doing now? Who's this and why this? Why are we still in this? Well, guess what? When it changes the policies, those three commissioners are going to be talking about changing those policies.
Right.
And if you got something to say when those three, because everybody's going to be, they got to all have a lane. You'll have a lane.
Right.
And it's going to be coming from Portland, from this section 2. That's why I was interested. It's coming from 2. Because this is where the majority of blacks were living.
That's right.
In the area. Yeah. And at one point in time, from your own historical standpoint, there was a district called District 18. When every 10 years, you know, they changed the deal, right, John?
District, yeah.
And I don't know if you're familiar with District 18. Yeah, that's right. That's history. Years back, when I was part of the Portland Observer newspaper, I brought up the issue when they came up with that cycle of 10 years, and I changed the district to District 18. It wasn't a black district. It was a district where a majority of the blacks were living in that district.
Gotcha.
That's a very important piece. And as a result of that, I went out and tried to get folks to come and run and this, that, and the other, and folks were right up front with it, and it was a Republican governor that put that piece together. His name was Vic Attia.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
You understand what I'm saying? So again, at the same time, and I'll make that point, there's no such thing as Republican. No, everybody's the same. Is that power and that money? I don't know. Power can be anything when you put that money out there.
But you know what? Now that we done flip the spirit.
Yes.
Y'all can get together.
Oh yeah, we can get together.
For sure.
Oh yeah, no.
Y'all can come on here all the way up into November. I don't need it. I'm gonna open the door.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It open to both of y'all. Y'all get together and the subject matters, and he can question you on your subject, whatever y'all doing, and that, you know what I do? Gonna wake people up.
Well, yeah.
So wake more people up.
That's what Garvey did. See,
Yeah.
Garvey got people together. See what I'm saying? That's why I'm here. I'm here. I'm respecting that because we need to. It's not about trying to, well, gee whiz, just because of his gear and this, that, and the other. No. There's a history there. I'm encouraging people. Take that time. We got to get those young folks.
Yeah.
To understand what that's all about. That's good history. Now they're not doing that in school.
Right.
That's part of your lane.
Yeah. I work in the school
Portland Public School.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And then you just happen to have access to somebody that's leading the whole public school right now. Who am I thinking about?
Yourself?
No. Right now. Who's running it right now?
Who's running PPS? I am not aware of who's running PPS.
Who's sitting and just recently elected to Multnomah County Board Commissioner? What's her name?
Jones Dixon?
Who?
Talking about Jones Dixon? Multnomah County
No.
Commissioner?
No. I'm talking about on the board right now.
For
Julia
David
Brim Edwards. You know that name?
Oh, I heard about her.
Yeah, she's wearing 2 hats.
Got you.
She's an elected official for the Portland School Board,
Got you.
and she's an elected position on Multnomah County.
Got you.
And she runs the school board
Got you.
because she got the background.
Got you.
And you're wearing them 2 hats. That's some two tough hats.
Yeah.
But you can easily ask her issues about voc ed education
Yeah.
in the school
Mm-hmm.
and get it back into the schools.
Right.
And give these young
the
brothers an
trades.
opportunity to learn these trades. Because that's where I came through voc ed.
Right on.
Yeah. And I'm gonna throw that to him. He doesn't even know that about me, but I won a national prize with the Ford Foundation. First one.
Wow.
For Robin, I was in metals, and I produced a chafing dish out of aluminum, and went to a national event, and I won first prize from Texas. And there I am shaking hands with the chairman of the board of the Ford Motor Company. And I'm not trying to brag or nothing. My point is that, but because I had that opportunity,
Yeah.
we don't have that opportunity anymore. Voc ed is a very important piece for a lot of the young folks.
Yeah.
Vocational education. Our young women, cooking school, restaurant. Look at it. They got
Cosmetology.
Yeah, I came here as a Marine when I came here as a Marine recruiter in Jefferson High School over there, and they had the school, and folks would love it. And I tried to give them together with all of the restaurants
Mm-hmm.
to basically give those young folks jobs after they get out, after they learn a little bit more through voc ed. Well, guess when they cut that off? But when you there,
It's showtime. I call it economic optimism.
yes,
That's one of my campaign values, and social equity.
yes,
So when looking at how businesses primarily capitalize on the tax,
Yeah.
burdens being lifted from them,
yes,
I want to be able to cultivate a ecosystem where businesses can pay less in taxes by investing in social equity. So vocational education, civics being embedded in the school system, financial intelligence, as well as agrarian mindsets and mentalities and lifestyle. Because, or I like to call agripreneurship. Because agripreneurship is dealing with the whole entire food system,
yeah,
which is going back to the transportation,
yeah.
and knowing how to make aftermarket products, let alone just making bell peppers, right? So it's one thing to have the bell peppers. It's another thing to learn about the microbials in the soil, and then learn how to have vermiculture with the worms, to deal with the compost, to then make soil more vibrant with carbon, to then be able to sell that, then to be able to create, ornamentals and the the pollinators. Those going into doing the beekeeping. Like this is all part of the food system, and distribution. Packaging, and what brings to me my mind is there's a man named Jacobson Valentine. He's a founder of Feed the Mass.
Okay.
And so he has packages. They do the food, provide it to the people, and they have like this material. It's like a plastic. It's not plastic though, but it's like a plastic, and it's biodegradable. And then they also have the container that holds the food, which is made out of coconut fibers. So you can eat the food. The material that the food's being held in is biodegradable, so now that is also compostable. Then there's this.
Eat that too.
Well, evenly,
Yeah,
because it's going to go back to the soil.
Go through the system.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So this is, what I consider to be my battle cry is more rejuvenation and healing justice, because that's what the city needs and deserves. And I want to make Portland internationally relevant. I want to be able to showcase to the world that we are better than our yesteryears. And that's by digging deep beneath the rocky soil of our carnal perceptions of
Maybe we can stamp the product made in USA, right?
Absolutely.
Not made in China, right?
Absolutely.
you get
Because a lot of land in the United States of America is owned by the Chinese Communist Party. And there's obviously individuals that have dual citizenship that have favoritism to Chinese government, whether they're U.S. citizen or not. And that is not discriminatory. It's just a concern when you're dealing with national security. Obviously, you know that, both you being in the military, it's problematic. And Portland is, 2 or 3 hours from the coast. Japan's right there. North Korea's right there. China, Russia's right there. I don't think really anyone really is aware of that, except for maybe the Coast Guard and the National Guard. And maybe possibly the governor. Like, no one really thinks that Oregon could be attacked by a foreign power, but that's a reality.
not as long as I'm here.
I know that's right. I know that's
Not as long
right.
as he's here.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
That's right.
You get the point. Everybody got buttons. Everybody got buttons.
I know
Right now we got the bigger button,
I heard
Yes, sir.
that.
and we're in the process of organizing that. But we got the button.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the same thing with Made in America.
Right on.
We need those jobs back. You know what I'm saying? And then, like you said, the voc ed thing, I think it just makes a lot. And from your land standpoint, we got to get the youth involved. We got to give them
have to.
something to do. And we got to start at that education piece. I can still remember another thing I'm gonna throw out there. I'm sure you like that too. I can still remember when I came here as a Marine recruiter, and then after my job was to know what's going on in the community routine. I'm a direct descendant from ROTC. I had ROTC in a southern school. First ROTC in the state of Texas. You know what I'm saying? I went from private all the way up to the general, to the whole deal, so to speak.
Wow.
But the fact of the matter is, it gave me another opportunity, which really gave me an opportunity to identify my career. Because our education system, in most cases, isn't designed, if you will, to develop a person on the low end of the board, the career mechanism. Because the folks are having problems trying to do that. They're not doctors and lawyers and this, that, and the other. So consequently, they're left, and they got all this energy.
Yep.
And I was going to try to get them to allow the ROTC to be at Jefferson High School. And it was a sister who was on the board that said no. So that's the fact. And I'm not trying to be anti her. That's just basically where she was in a control environment, so to speak. There should be someone to lobby for that part. Now I was a recruiter. I had a uniform on. That was an anti-war aspect of it. But they wouldn't say nothing to me. And just to be realistic about it, you're familiar with that building there on the corner of Shaver and MLK, aren't you? Where those murals are. You got a mural there. The murals there. They got some murals there. Used to be Burger Barn. You know what Burger Barn was?
No, I'm not familiar with Burger Barn. You said Shaver and
MLK. They got some murals on the walls.
I'm trying to think.
They got paintings up there. They got some paintings up there.
What's another landmark?
Let's see. Come back Skidmore. Come back this way.
Skidmore.
Fremont. Go north. Go north Fremont. No, right hand side.
Dang,
You know what
I'm thinking is I'm like right there. It's like a drawing a blank because I know Akati used to be over there, and then you're coming down here to where we're at. You're saying a little bit further from where we're at, right?
Right.
Yeah, I can't piece
That's
it
where
together.
you at the Nation of Islam use that building.
Yeah, right.
They told me that.
Right. Yep. I had them at that building.
Okay.
But I had those murals I put up there.
Right on.
It talks about the history of black folks on the northern side, and on the southern side. On this side here, they had there was a progressive one with young folks, integrated folks, on technology and computers and things of that nature. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that would not have happened because I used to own that building. And the painter, the artist, is a brother,
Right on.
Samsudeen. And this brother was going around knocking on doors trying to get the businesses to allow him to put his paintings up. They would say no. When he came to my building, I said yes. And then I shared with him what I thought were some of the things, and he did that. And the kids were involved, and the whole 9 yards was integrated. But the history of black folks is on the northern side. Now you don't have no graffiti on that piece.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then I eventually had to sold the building. The building was gone. Times get tough sometimes when you're trying to pay your bills doing what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the fact of it is, I got it done.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's our folks sometimes get caught up in this because they're caught up in that power and money.
Yeah, that's an illusion.
We get caught. No, we get caught up in that too. Maybe at a small, but we get caught against us because they've been taught this way, to be divided among us. We've been taught that way. Well, guess what I was talking about? The painting. They took the progressive and took it off. And went back some time and put some photos up there.
Wow.
Well, I'm not. You have the black faces. I'm familiar who they are, but that's I'm talking about today.
Right.
I had young people up there talking about tech and computers 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They didn't want me to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about, you know what I'm saying? But my point is, but I'm sticking to my lane because I'm saying to anybody, anytime anybody want to debate me, bring it on. I'll debate them any time because I paid my dues. My resume reflects, not trying to be, it's not about not being elected, but as a black man, independent black man, if I got elected, it would be no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did was I got to understand what the state was all about by running in the primary and learning.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody attacked me because if I'd been by myself, I'd been attacked and gone. But in the primary, I was able to learn. I was able to learn from the other people that were running.
Yep.
And I never finished last.
Right on.
Only got worried one time here locally when I was running for state representative against cat named Wally Priestley. And my wife said, "Oh, honey," the next day or so said, "Honey, he won." I said, "Oh my!" I said, I didn't say "oh my." I used a Marine term.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that part
That's beautiful.
because I was there focused, in my community, and they was using that as an excuse to knock me that way. So from that point on, I said, "Well, what I'm not going to do," because I kind of like knocked on a couple of doors then, but from that point on, I've run for every office you can think about in the state of Oregon, okay, and have never knocked on a door purposely. But today, I can knock on the door. But sometimes when you talk about that maturity area, now I'm looking for young cats like you.
You the one.
See, and I can knock on the door
Right on.
by giving you an opportunity to identify your lane that would be of benefit to Portland as a whole,
Right.
and the state, which is very important. So that's what my interviews are all about.
And that's beautiful. What comes to mind also is three things actually, three initiatives that I have. It's family-based public health, community-based public safety, and socio-ecological infrastructure, which basically ties in the agriculture, not only for the vocation aspect in the schools, but also bringing that to the communities and the neighborhood associations, because we have to have more greenhouses to store the food and to be able to withstand all the seasons. All 4 seasons should be able to grow food all year round and have it locally grown. And in addition to that, we should be having systems of distribution to get the food out to the elderly, the disabled, and the houseless, and anyone else that's in the community that may want access to food. And we also want to be able to have organizations, nonprofits, and businesses be involved with that process to, for the restaurant's sake, to reduce the cost. So when you go to a restaurant, you won't be spending as much, because the food that you're eating that was prepared by these chefs and all the hard work that they did to prepare it for you to have it on your plate is going to cost less, but it was locally grown in the community. In addition to that, we want to transform yards into farms. So we want to get rid of a lot of the grass that's in the yards of people's homes. We also want to get rid of the grass that's at some of these parks, because you got a bunch of grass, dogs is running around. We can make a dog space for the dogs. We can make a play area for the children. We can make more greenhouses at the parks. We can make more hoop houses, so the food can be growing, peppers, okra, eggplants. We want to be able to grow more food ourselves. And in addition to that,
But before you leave that point,
yeah.
I want you to think about something. I have gotten into an age factor aspect of it, and normally I tend to relate to myself. I just turned my age around, and that's my age now. That's what he is too. We're the same boat. So we got that military experience. See, I'm 68 years old.
Right on.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we young cats on that end.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I still have to say, I got to reflect the fact of where I am, right? You got my point? And there are other folks like me that have to go on the front end. See, I'm 86, but they're 86. They're 86. I'm 68.
Yeah.
Okay? But the fact of the matter is, gardens in their houses right now where they're living would be nice. They used to have those. They used to have gardens in the back of their homes. They can make them greens. They can grow their own vegetables, if you will. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they used to have that service here for the city of Portland.
Wow.
They used to come and actually build the container, fill it up with the fertilizer, plant it for the senior citizen. That's right.
Yeah.
And the other thing, because grandma would also bring in the kids, because now the kids are going home to grandma, right? Got me? And grandma would teach the kids how to do the planting.
So
this,
it's already
that, and the
been
other.
done.
You see what I'm saying? But my point is that they're taking it off the table. That's why I'm saying that education is so important. Voc ed. Voc ed. That could be, that's part of your piece. And I'm hearing you, and I'm saying you've got a lot of wisdom, but I'm saying that the thing that people are concerned with right now, they are angry. So you got to give them things that they can relate to, because right now they can't even buy the vegetables because they ain't got the money. Some folks, seniors, for instance.
Yeah.
I'm talking to us now. We can buy to a certain degree. You got my point?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of folks that are hurting. But there's a lot of things that we got to relate to things that the people are angry about today. Like public safety is another issue aspect of it.
Right.
We used to have watches, if you will.
Yep.
Neighborhood watch, and then people could walk around. They would be walking around in their communities, and meeting one another, so you can know the neighbors and stuff. See, public safety, and in all due respect, it's young folks and folks that can't come up with the money to pay their bills or feed their families. They're the one doing the robbing. They ain't robbing. They just kind of taking from one to go out there and make a buck or two.
Yep.
You got my point? And I'm not saying I condone this aspect of it, but let's get down to the facts of the matter. We should ask the person. We do have a process. A person gets caught. They sent to jail. They vet them out, right? But there's a controlled environment. Well, maybe do a little vocage or something like that while they're in the institution, because they're going to let them out eventually, right?
That's right.
See, so the kids that we need to make sure we respond to them also. Don't call them a bunch of this, that, and the other routine. Find out what's on their mind to begin with. But that education piece is there. That's what I'm saying. It's a full plate. That's why I'm trying to divert you from some of your high tech stuff. Because I can't compete with that. We just here. Now if you put a uniform on, then I try to figure out what is that MOS, right?
Right.
Where's the MOS? That's fine. If not that, we're gonna put a hat on you. Look like he's young enough. I think I can put him in the Corps, man. I can put him in the Corps. See. I can put him in the Corps, see.
Well, y'all can change some history here. Especially when you talking about the election coming.
Yes.
And y'all got a couple of months to go.
Yes. But this came as a result of your reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, Bruce," and I wanted to make sure that the viewership on your show understand we got a very important times right now. And then you reached out and put a young brother in here and form an association that I'm very familiar with. And the Marcus Garvey is an awesome history piece.
Yes.
And they can Google that and look at that history. That's a
Yeah, we did a show on Marcus Garvey.
Yeah. He had me doing that, and I had to go back and pick up my background, and I had to talk about Marcus Garvey.
Yeah,
I felt so good. I'm about ready to go back to New York. I like New York. That's why I call him New York. See, New York is the melting pot.
Yes, sir.
See what I'm saying? But we're in Portland, Oregon right now, and we got some issues, and so I really appreciate that he brought me on with you, because I meet you for the first time, and you did a little passing event, and so I didn't do that event. I had another brother who was running for office. He's not filed yet, but John's a good guy, but he was a guest host.
Gotcha.
Guest host, and so I will even give you some consideration as being a possibility of a guest host if we can work it out. See, the key is that you have nothing to lose. If you got a lane and you feel comfortable with it, if people can go into your lane and get you off the off lane, as opposed to, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to staying on your piece, then you don't have the credentials.
That's right.
That's why you got to stay focused.
That's right.
You stay in your lane, and anything that relate to that lane, you also want to consider from the bottom up, not from the top down.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take care of, and who's the first ones? Senior citizens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those last days. Everybody's gonna get there. They don't know that.
Yeah.
We don't. We've been in the military. We still running. We'll continue to be running. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my point is that that's a very important piece, and that's quite a block of votes too, by the way.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was so appreciative that you're here. I mean, but now I got to catch up on my work.
Yeah.
I got to catch up on my work. You gonna be my lane.
Yeah.
To get this east on this other end.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to public safety, I wanted to expound on the Portland Street response. That was like one of my ideas to innovate, and it's actually inspired by Mayor Ross Baraka out of Newark, New Jersey, who created Newark Community Street Team. And so we have 95 neighborhood associations. It would only make sense that each neighborhood association has some sort of division that operates as an expanded component of the Portland Street Response
But
to
now,
assist
but
the
now
community
remember
members.
now, I hear where you're coming from.
Mhm.
But the person who actually put that piece together, it might have been an example, whatever, was Joanne Hardesty. I got to give her credit. I mean, we might
Right
agree.
on.
Joanne Hardesty did that. I agree with you. We should have a street response for every district.
Mhm.
Same concept. And what's so neat, unique about that street response they have downtown now, they're focusing for their piece.
Right.
But really, the police say we don't have enough heads. Well, that's a good recruiting ground for them.
Mm-hmm.
They could bring folks on with the age factor and whatever and let them walk the beat and learn the this, and they could actually draw their troops from there.
Yep.
And do the same thing for the community.
Yep.
That's one thing I'd be interested in. I mean, I'm thinking about running for office seriously, but if I can find some serious folks that are going to be talking to me on my show that have a lane
Yeah.
and they're going to focus, fine. If they don't have no lane, I'm going to run. Because there are 3 seats there.
Yeah.
3 seats there.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. See, that's all I'm saying. If they can't recognize seniors, if they can't recognize the military, they can't recognize, you know what I'm saying? They can't recognize family values aspect of it. And I'm not knocking anything else. All these other folks with their different genders. All I'm saying is that I want you to focus on the issues. People are angry. They got 3 major pieces. We got to get that squared away. Got me?
Yeah.
So that's good. So I just want to throw that in there. About
appreciate
that street response. That needs to be a part of each district.
Yeah.
Every district should have the same thing, and drawn from the same district, the people. They're going to be doing walking the district, because after they, let's say, be a part of the Portland Police Department, okay, then community police can.
Yeah. None of it exists.
Then it can exist from the same people from that area.
Yep.
And they would know all of the folks in the area.
Yep.
And when little Charlie gets a little out of run, they say, "Wait, look, come on. I'm going to go down here and tell your mama. Get in the car, let's go."
Yep.
Okay? Or if not that, John gets a little more, drinking a little bit too much down at the restaurant, drinking too much beer, and it's any color. Put him in the car and take him home. I mean, you see where I'm coming from?
Oh, I bear witness to it being what we need to manifest.
Yeah, see, and since no due respect, since that's so good about your lane, they figure that we've been doing all of the shooting and all the drugs and this, that, and the other, you see, and that's not a fact.
Right.
But you running your face, you don't have to worry about, excuse the French, spending your time talking about how black you are.
Yeah.
Dealing with the issues. Hey, this guy's got me. Look, I don't have to worry about people. I can walk around my house now.
Yeah.
I can walk around the block now.
Yeah.
What do you mean he got a black? Forget the black face. He got me squared away.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about nothing anymore.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's how we do that. Yeah. So you got a good deal. Now I got interest in you now. You know that, don't you?
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna be that stop cop off them off lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get over there, when you stuff, no, get on back up there. Well, what I'm doing?
Yes, sir.
Then we'll sit down and talk about it.
Right on.
Then it becomes your piece,
That's right.
not me. You.
Right on.
We gotta
I
get you
appreciate
elected.
that.
That's important.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
See, you
My
might,
man, I like
see,
that.
he may even change his mind, because you still have time. He may change his mind and get yourself a district piece.
Yeah.
You know, you never know. You understand? It's a lane, right? You're the only one. See, I'm trying to divide you. In fact, I'm trying to motivate some both of them. Might be something. Oh, I'm gonna start running. Hey, he's running for me. I'm gonna run over here. Okay. But if nobody's running, by the time they talk about for giving up on sign up, I'm gonna be looking at you. Because you need to be sitting at that seat.
Yes, sir.
Somebody has to be a spokesman for the
Yes,
issues
sir.
that we just talked about.
Yes,
Does that
sir.
make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
You know, because right now the power base still has the power
Yeah.
to buy the seat. We just went through that with the county.
Yeah.
You saw that
Yep.
with the money, right? You got me?
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat them yet.
Right.
But if it's strong enough, fine. And excuse me, I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. So don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up.
Not at all.
So you just establish that lane. If you establish that lane, that'll be enough work for you. You'll have more work just being a mayor, just on that. But you got to do a whole bunch of other things. Then you represent all 4 districts
Right.
when you run. and each one of them is going to have lanes. So when you do that, that means you got to be able to articulate all of the lanes. I'm just giving you something
That's right.
to start your campaign with.
Yeah.
As solid as a rock.
Solid as a rock.
That you can do, that you can talk to now. So by the time the sign up comes, you'll be making that decision. Not me. You'll make the decision. It's not about, well, I don't think no. You got to stay in the race if you got that lane. And it's my job as an elder to share that. Not me trying to boss you around. No, I want you there so I can walk around the aisle too. Both me and my brother, we got PTSD. You might be looking like a Viet Cong or something, trying to jump on me at night. I'm going to go get my milk.
That's right.
Wow.
Am I right, bro?
That's right. That's right.
That's real.
Oh, it is real. Definitely.
It was a beautiful. I enjoyed this, man. It's been a beautiful day.
It's been great.
Y'all putting work together.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Indeed. That gospel plow.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? What else? How long you been here, by the way? How long you been in Portland?
Since 2021, January 8th.
21 from where?
Eastern Washington, Tri-Cities.
Tri-City, Eastern Washington.
Yeah, where the nuclear plant's at.
Oh, you one of them nuke dudes.
Yeah, I worked out there at the
You did?
VIT plant. Yeah.
Oh, so that's another deal.
Labor union.
You want to dig some of that stuff out?
Yeah, that's a subject matter.
That's a subject matter. But you ain't Washington, though. See, them people
right.
are upset trying to figure out what they're going to do, see? But you're here.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm glad to be here. This is a great city.
Oh, yeah. But see, there was another deal with those governors. Remember McCall? You don't remember. No,
Tim McCall?
No. Yeah, Tom McCall.
Tom McCall.
He was a governor.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vic Atier, he was the one that basically he first started sensing it when they had a big riot downtown, and he found some land up in Washington. And they had a big luau, if you will, and they did that deal, and everything was cool. But he was the one that first started sensing the change, because I-5 runs right through Portland, so a lot of the stuff just dropped here, drugs and all that kind of stuff. But what he did was that he did that piece. So he put a sign up when he was running for governor. He said, on the front of right there at the border, visit but don't stay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's history.
Yeah.
And then when Vic Atier got elected, he was the other governor. That's the guy that basically he was a governor and he helped us put District 18 together for folks. And he was the one that took the signs down. And so now here I'm running. If I should run, I'm put the sign up.
Visit but don't stay.
In a district.
Yeah.
Because right now it's being gentrified, so to speak, and that gentrification is not only just for black folks, white folks too. So you got to include it, but we're just 10%, less than that now.
Right.
But that's okay. But you're still 100% when it comes to your vote. That vote,
That's
freedom of speech. Your vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got me? After the vote, you can't. But that, if you get elected, you're an employee of the community.
Right. Yep. No question.
Right now, it's the opposite.
Right. Yeah.
But no, right? This is a fact. The power base, power and money runs it.
Right.
We just need to change it a little bit. We don't want to run them off. I want them to fill them buildings because there's a lot of business there.
Yeah.
A lot of jobs. And feed a lot of families.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we just have to be practical, a little bit more practical. And that's what we need to do. It's not about just the money. So I'm telling you, all those folks who jumped out of the stall like a racing stall aspect of it. Got the horses ready, and they ring a bell, see? Well, the bell hasn't rung yet. And them horses are rattling all over the place. And the man said, go out there and raise you some money. Just go get the money. To buy some ads. And you ain't talking about the issues. If you're doing, somebody else is talking for you, right?
That's right.
When you're talking ads, but that's not your lane.
Right.
But if you are community, you're the boss. And the people who are running for office are employees. And all we're respecting them from one thing. When you file the run, you got to have a resume. You got to have a lane. Something specifically that address my issues as a voting person.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be public safety, right now, that's what it is. They don't want nothing outside of that vein. It just focus on one thing, on one, Portland, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Homelessness, public safety, and mental health. That's where they are.
Right.
People are angry, and we're having to pay for that. And my mortgage is coming up, and I ain't got no money.
Mm-hmm.
Light bills come up. They just raised my light bill when I was freezing, and I was already trying to conserve.
Yeah.
I can't do that no more. I can't heat no water. Okay? So, anyway, I've said enough.
Yes,
said
sir.
enough.
I appreciate it. It's fruitful.
Well, thank
Man,
you for
I
being
really
here.
enjoy
Yeah.
this. It's
Food
beautiful.
for
here.
thought.
Thank you for thinking about running. That's the thing that gets me. I like that.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
Man, it's a blessing, man. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so we'll be back next month, I guess.
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll be back next
We have
month.
4 shows.
Yep.
And it's going to be dedicated to both of y'all.
Well, no, we're going to be we're employees.
That's right, employees.
We're the employers, remember?
Yes, sir.
We're going to have some employees,
Yes,
people who
sir.
would like to be employed by us.
Yes, sir. We just got to be on time.
What time?
Because, see, if you do, like, whatever, say for instance, they say my show is at 1 o'clock.
Yes,
We got to be here 10 minutes to 1.
10 minutes to 1.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that'll be part of the deal on the employees
Yeah, employee, yeah.
who
yes,
wants
sir.
the job.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're
Okay.
planning on for 3 shows instead of 4.
Okay, 3 shows. Okay, good.
Do 3 shows.
I got you. Okay, good.
Yeah.
That sounds good. But I'll be
Yeah.
basically doing the same thing in my format.
Okay. That sounds
So
good.
see, we come here after your format, and then we just got 2 more hours.
See, I do mine and then he does his, which is good.
Yes, sir.
And we're trying to get the message out. And all the person has to do is just pull out their TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pull out their TV and subscribe.
That's right.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
That's right.
It comes up, right?
Yeah.
And then share it.
Right.
Share it.
Okay, so I appreciate you. I appreciate the day. We got a lot more to do. You know, this is only the process.
Yes, yes.
And I'm honored to be in the presence of you 2 great men. So at this time right now, I'd like to close out.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Jew Ali. Amen. I'm going to give him take a picture of us, too.
Good show.
Got to show this around the country.
That's a good show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's great.
You know what I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. You put some things together for me that really helped.
Okay.
Added value.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah. It added value big time. I appreciate it. It's been remarkable.
Yes, sir.
More than I expected.